We are all governed by the laws of physics. With every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
One-on-one, Cole. I will hold you down and punish you and cause you pain for ever thinking that you were better than me.
2 out of 3 falls. The undisputed finale.
The Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly story needs to end.
If there is a third fall needed in your match, it will be contested in a steel cage!
To understand the behavior of our extended universe,
This match for the NXT UK Championship should be seen by the entire world.
the laws of motion determine how physical objects change.
Walter will defend the NXT UK Championship against Ilya Dragunov in the United States.
An object will remain in a state of rest
And as long as I have your back, you will always be champion.
unless that state is changed
What the hell?
by an external force.
You're looking at the next women's champion. At TakeOver, I am going to tear you apart.
Inertia tells us that an object in motion
$1 million championship on the line.
will remain in motion
My money is on Cameron Grimes.
unless acted upon by a force of tension.
Right now, he's my butler. When I beat him, he won't be my butler. You will. You are on.
Tonight,
Someone needed to cause this suffering, this chaos.
in the most unpredictable of circumstances,
Samoa Joe is back.
Cross is out of control. Cross needs to be put down.
chaos has engulfed the NXT landscape.
And what, you think you're just gonna walk in and become NXT champion after taking a year off?
You can consider me provoked, and I am here to mete out the consequences.
Hey, Joe! This is about the future of this brand.
Tonight, what will happen when the theory of chaos collides with the laws of physics?
Do you still feel like you're in control?
And now, Applebee's presents NXT TakeOver 36.
The Capitol Wrestling Center is ready to cap off SummerSlam weekend on a night where 4 titles will be defended. An era will come to an end, and the next chapter in our brand's rich history will be written. Welcome to NXT TakeOver 36. Welcome in ringside. I'm Vic Joseph alongside the Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix, former 5-time Intercontinental Champion Wade Barrett. Wade, are you ready for tonight?
Oh my word, what a weekend it has already been, and it gets better from here. I personally cannot wait for the NXT UK Championship match. Walter against the Mad Russian Ilya Dragunov. Those 2 men are gonna blow the roof off this place.
No doubt, guys. I took a red eye from SummerSlam to be here. And I'm exhausted. I have had no sleep, but all the caffeine in the world can't match the energy here in the CWC.
Well, let's not waste any more time. Let's go up to our ring announcer, Alicia Taylor, to get things kicked off here tonight.
The following contest scheduled for 1 fall is for the $1 Million Championship!
Everybody's got a price. Everybody's gonna pay. Because the $1 Million Man always gets his way.
Capitol Wrestling Center showing their appreciation for WWE Hall of Famer Ted DiBiase.
Yeah.
the challenger for the $1 million title. In fact, there's a lot more on the line tonight than just a championship.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. Look, Grimes finally ready to trash that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm loving it. Upgrade, definitely. Hey, Grimes, he wasn't meant to be a servant, guys. He's meant for greater things, and that includes carrying on the legacy of the $1 Million Man.
Introducing the challenger, accompanied by WWE Hall of Famer, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. From Burlington, North Carolina, weighing in at 220 pounds, Cameron Grimes!
Well, let me tell you, that is the dumbest thing I've ever seen from
Here we go.
burning that Butler outfit, because Ted DiBiase could have done with that at the end of tonight.
Myself and the entire CWC disagree with you, Wade. I don't think we'll ever see that Butler outfit again.
Listen to the Capitol Wrestling Center. They're getting ready to go straight to the moon. Woo, goosebumps just came through my suit.
His opponent, from Hagerstown, Maryland, weighing in at 240 pounds, he is the $1 Million Champion, L.A. Knight!
Go ahead, Wade. Tell us about the High Roller himself.
Let me talk to you, Vic. What a way to kick off TakeOver 36 with the biggest megastar in NXT himself, the trend-setting, attention-getting $1 Million Champion himself. And tonight, not only will he single-handedly upgrade NXT TakeOver 36 simply by virtue of the fact that he's right here, but he's also going to upgrade his own personal butler, which, let's face it, is sorely needed because Cameron Grimes has messed up every single task he's been sent. Well, that money is not going to help you soon, Ted DiBiase, because very soon you are going to be the personal servant of LA Knight.
You can hear how the Capitol Wrestling Center feels about the $1 Million Champion. Are you on his payroll or something, Wade? You're out here looking like Gordon Gekko tonight?
Hey, greed is good. I've always said that, Vic Joseph, and money never sleeps. Two people in this arena who understand that are myself and LA Knight.
Well, here we go. $1 Million Championship on the line. Let's remember, Cameron Grimes can't get the job done tonight. $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, the new personal butler to LA Knight. Big money matchup, kicking things off here at NXT TakeOver 36.
It is a hot night in Orlando, Florida, only made hotter by this audience here tonight.
Well, speaking of that, well, speaking of hot, the fire reignited within Cameron Grimes this past Tuesday.
Yeah, wow, listen to those chops that Tate just slapped out of LA Knight's face. But it was just 3 feet away from us here, where LA Knight punched Ted DiBiase straight in the face and caused DiBiase to finally say to him, Grimes, you were not born to be a butler, you were born to be a champion. That set off the alarms in Grimes' head, and he is here tonight to get the job done.
Oh, what a backdrop. And look, Ted DiBiase also told Grimes, follow your heart. Could lead him to a championship.
And I've got to tell you, follow your heart is a ludicrous piece of advice. It's a whimsical soundbite that's not ever helped anyone in life.
Grimes could be looking for the $1 Million Dream. Knight trying his best to block center of the ring right now. Knight trying to create a little separation, and certainly does.
You just believe that way because you've got a cavernous hole where a heart should be.
Uh-oh, Knight Not gonna like the view when he turns around. Whoa! Swinging a miss, Grimes now. And that time it connected right under the jaw of LA Knight.
Just an extra point to the chin of LA Knight. LA Knight taking every ounce of the power of that kick.
And there's Ted DiBiase. You can see all smiles in the background because if Grimes can't get the job done, oh, it's DiBiase becomes a personal butler of LA Knight. But Grimes right now is in control.
This is exactly what Grimes had to do from the get-go, get the momentum on his side. Hold on!
Oh, assisted from the Hall of Famer.
You tell me how that's legal.
Ted DiBiase didn't need to put his hands on LA Knight.
Involving himself in the matchup once again. In fact, that's the first thing Ted DiBiase has ever done for Grimes that's helped him.
I mean, all I see right here is 2 boots in the face. One more time. I mean, I know a great dentist in Knoxville. LA Knight might need it.
Well, back to live action, turning things right around is LA Knight. And a lot leniency by our official here tonight in this matchup. High stakes, a lot on the line. That $1 million title as finally LA Knight gets the challenger back into the ring. And, well, telegraphed it did Knight, and Grimes making Knight pay. And here comes Cameron Grimes one more time. Certainly keeping his foot on the gas, and now his foot under the jaw once again of the champion.
LA Knight has got an absolute whooping so far in this matchup. Clearly weeks and perhaps months of frustration built up inside of the butler, or perhaps the former butler, Cameron Grimes, all coming out of LA Knight.
No!
Until things changed before our eyes.
Nasty landing for Grimes.
Oh, ribs first, right on that top turnbuckle.
Oh, just check out this landing here. LA Knight sweeping the feet, but Grimes, did you see how his head just snapping back?
Oh, now LA Knight going to town.
Well, LA Knight, you can take as many shots at him as you want. You cannot deny what a high-caliber athlete is. He ran out a hell of a storm in the early going to this matchup, and now back on top.
The self-proclaimed $1 million megastar in control.
Yeah, the self-proclaimed. It's about time you started proclaiming it that too, Vic Joseph. Now you're starting to get it back.
Has anybody actually seen LA Knight's bank account? I mean, he might be writing checks that he can't cash.
Oh!
I've seen his car. That alone tells me how much money that man's got, and it's a lot.
I think it's a rental.
There's Ted DiBiase trying to shout words of encouragement into Grimes' ear as LA Knight now, oh, right under the bottom rope goes the throat of Cameron Grimes. And Knight has slowed the matchup down. Most importantly, though, has taken the Capitol Wrestling Center out of this matchup. Is now Knight relentless and the pompous champion in control.
Yeah, he's not just a high roller. He can do the nasty stuff, too. When it gets down to the nitty-gritty, for the ground and pound, there's no one finer than LA Knight.
Oh, and a boot under the jaw. And Grimes now starting to rally in this matchup. Grimes right back in and gets shut down quickly by Knight.
Grimes trying to hang in here, but LA Knight turning up the aggression.
Whoa! Picking up the speed is Grimes. High crossbody into the cover for the title. And Grimes just kicked out at 2.
Grimes just gasping for air, trying to get his win back after that onslaught from LA Knight.
And then, oh, neckbreaker was blocked by Grimes. Grimes with Knight in his sights. Knight charging back in. Grimes again able to evade the champion. Challenger going up and gets caught with a power bomb. Knight now to retain his title for DiBiase to become his butler. Grimes just kicked out.
Just a reflex reaction there from LA Knight. The power to convert that into a power bomb.
Oh, one more time. Oh, look at the height on this. Boom! Just telegraphing it, and again, Grimes clutching at that neck. You can see the war wounds on the back of Cameron Grimes.
And let me just pull you up on something there, Vic Jones.
What?
Did I hear you call LA Knight, our $1 million champion, pompous?
Yes.
Well, how dare you? You think he's self-important? You think he's snooty? Look at the man's achievements. Look at the man's brilliance. If anyone on this planet deserves to be self-important or pompous, as you like to call it, it's that man right there, L.A.
Well, I mean, let's define pompous here. I mean, everything seems to be directed at Ted DiBiase. LA Knight holding a grudge top to bottom.
Cameron Grimes right now trying to feed off the energy of the Capitol Wrestling Center, but LA Knight, whether you love him or you hate him, right now is taking control of this matchup and weathered the early storm early on, and now is in control. Whoa, nice roll through by Grimes. Grimes a little bit of separation. Cameron Grimes just has to string something together, gets caught and gets slammed. Perfectly planted in the center of the ring. Wrestling Center showed LA Knight not a lot of love.
I mean, it's hard to argue with that. I mean, LA Knight better watch it. It took one punch for DiBiase to break Bullet Bob Armstrong's jaw in 1983.
And again, Capitol Wrestling Center trying to will on Cameron Grimes. Sharp elbow from Knight. Knight now. Look at the athleticism. Nobody home on the moonsault. Took a little bit too much time, and bet this could be the moment now. This could be the moment for Cameron Grimes.
Grimes trying to take advantage, but gasping for air, trying to get air back into those lungs. Channel that energy from the CWC.
And LA Knight, though, back to his feet quickly. $1 Million champion gets caught by Grimes. And look, it's Cameron Grimes who wants to carry on the legacy of Ted DiBiase.
Listen, DiBiase, a legendary personality. It's because he held himself to a gold standard.
Boom!
And Grimes demonstrating that right here in the ring, right now.
Well, LA Knight doesn't need to follow anyone's legacy. He's good enough to create his own. That's the difference.
Grimes again looking for that $1 million dream. Can he lock it in center of the ring? LA Knight trying his best to block and another elbow, breaking the hold, but Grimes relentless. This time, German suplex, folds up the champion. Challenger now rolling, looks for the Hurricane Rana, connects into the cover. Title's on the line, do we have a new champion?
Just a millisecond away from losing that championship was LA Knight. I've got to say his technique wasn't quite there for the $1 Million Dream sleeper hold, but everything else was spot on there.
Capitol Wrestling Center has been rocking. What a way to cap off SummerSlam week. One place they want to go, Beth, is to the moon. 100% behind Cameron Grimes here tonight, and Grimes now trying to pull, but Knight again able to break the hold.
Of course, this is LA Knight at his best, just riding out storms, coming out the other end, smelling the roses. Perhaps I speak too soon. LA Knight dished out onto the apron here. Cameron Grimes trying to capitalize, but no. Taking out the leg was Knight. Straight onto the bottom rope. Once again goes Grimes. Face first.
Trying his best to...
Covered by Knight for the championship, and another kick out by the challenger. And again, Cameron Grimes fighting for more than just a title here tonight for the legacy of Ted DiBiase. Could you imagine the chores that LA Knight would have Ted DiBiase
You know,
do?
I've been imagining that all week. Life goes full circle when you're a millionaire. Pretty soon, we're going to see the $1 Million Man cleaning manure off the boots of LA
Don't speak
Knight.
too soon, Barrett, as Grimes starting to fight back. Oh, no.
LA Knight has had an answer
Bulldog from the middle turnbuckle.
for everything Grimes has thrown at him.
Grimes right back in and up again on the shoulders of the $1 Million champion who plants the challenger into the cover. Ted DiBiase, is he going to be a bullet? No. That was a kick out. So close though to 3.
Oh, man, you can see the fear in the eyes of the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, right there.
I mean, literally after this impact here, LA Knight struggling to cover, but by a hair. Cameron Grimes just able to get that shoulder up, and the reaction from DiBiase solidly behind Cameron Grimes.
Capitol Wrestling Center one more time, trying to will on Cameron Grimes as LA Knight looking for the ending. Look
Over the BFT.
It's counted, well scouted by Grimes. Again, these two know each other so very well, but right back in goes Knight with a knee. Super kick under the jaw. Knight bounces off, swing and a miss, comes right back in, up. Champion looking to plant the challenger. Whoa!
Grimes holding on.
LA Knight coming right back in, gets caught, gets taken over, into the cover, falling into the cover, the count. Do we have a new champion?
There was so little left in Cameron Grimes after that move. Wasn't able to hook the leg. Had he been able to hook that, we would have had a new $1 Million champion.
Oh, you see the great effort Grimes put in getting back in. Oh, but catching a little bit across the bridge of the nose. They're just unable to hook the leg. And Knight able to stay in this matchup, save the $1 Million Championship.
What a way to kick off NXT TakeOver 36. Cameron Grimes could be closing in on establishing, redefining the $1 million legacy. Grimes with so much vengeance behind every single one of these precision kicks to the chest of LA Knight.
LA Knight just on rubber legs at this point.
Knight can sense victory, or excuse me, Grimes can sense victory. Knight could be sensing defeat out of desperation, holding onto the ropes as Knight.
Trying to debag it.
Oh,
And turning around Knight. Up goes Grimes and hard landing for Grimes. And you can just sense the hostility between both these competitors here tonight.
We almost had a moment of indecency here in the CWC, but now in a precarious position, both men perhaps busted open is Cameron Grimes, getting a pounding on that chest.
like a shark to blood. LA Knight enjoying this.
Grimes with one fist, able to create that separation he desperately needs as Grimes. Wait, what's LA Knight thinking? Oh no.
What athleticism!
At the top. No! If LA Knight can get into the cover, this one could be over. Did you see the look of angst on the face of DiBiase? Oh, it just kicked out. Woo! That was as close gets.
Saving the skin of Ted DiBiase once again.
Take a look at the height right here. Cameron Grimes essentially taking a moonsault fall all the way from the top rope.
What must be going through the mind right now of LA Knight?
Well, he knows how close he is. He knows this match is right for the takings. He realizes it. This is your moment to put this one to bed and gain yourself the greatest butler of all time.
Knight measuring Cameron Grimes, looking to put an exclamation point on a $1 million victory. Grimes doesn't quite know where he's at. Looks like he's gonna get caught. BMT counter. Wait, looking for the backslide. Can Grimes get the backslide?
Grimes trying to get
Test
those
of
hips
power.
low.
Coming back in, swings wild, $1 million dream.
Oh,
This
no.
time it's locked in. This time it's cinched.
Time for LA Knight to go to bed.
Grimes is squeezing, trying to put down Knight. LA, no, Grimes didn't relinquish the hold. Grimes fighting for a championship, fighting for a legacy, fighting for Ted DiBiase.
Struggling, making it to the rope. Break this one up, referee.
And LA Knight trying to kick free into the cover. Shoulders down. Shoulders are down. And whoa!
Still with the hold.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
Phenomenal body awareness from Cameron Grimes, like an anaconda.
Champion is fading. The
He's
champion is fading. The $1 million dream cinched in by the challenger. Our dream's gonna come true tonight. Cameron Grimes.
Somehow, someway, LA Knight just about summoning the strength to force his way out. What a gallant effort from Cameron Grimes to hold on for so long. Finally, the blood rushing back into the brain of LA Knight, getting his bearings once again.
What's he doing?
Everything in the world he cares about.
Oh, not like this.
Kick from Cameron Grimes. Knight spilling to the outside, perhaps saving himself. That championship left in the...
Grimes, take a look at this. It's the original. Dream locked in by Ted DiBiase.
The referee missed all of it.
Referee was distracted. Cave in.
No.
Cover.
Oh, yeah.
Count. We got a new $1 million champion.
Here is your winner, Ted
look of disbelief across the face of Cameron Grimes. Everything Grimes has gone through for this moment, the ups, the downs, but tonight, it's Cameron Grimes' moment with Ted DiBiase.
Well, talk about earning it. LA Knight here, struggling to stay in this. But was able to break up the hold on Cameron Grimes.
Look at all this back and forth. I mean, it would lead to LA Knight almost taking too much time in his own right. Gets caught by Cameron Grimes. Knight would go to the outside. To Wade's point, referee didn't see it. Referee was distracted for Ted DiBiase getting a little bit of payback on LA Knight.
Glorious karma coming into effect right here. I gotta tell you, I enjoyed it. LA Knight can take that trash attitude. You see, Ted DiBiase
Yeah, a little bit more payback.
showing him how it's done. It's never been applied better by the man who invented it, the $1 million dream.
And then in the closing moments, a move worth $1 million. Bam, that cave-in for Cameron Grimes, who can now add to the legacy in his own right. What a moment for Cameron Grimes here at NXT TakeOver 36.
Well, let me be the first to say that the $1 million legacy, for what it's worth, is being flushed down the toilet before our very eyes.
You've never been more wrong, Wade. Cameron Grimes is taking the $1 million legacy straight to the moon.
Now, WWE drops 500 John Cena Gold NFTs. Join the 24-hour auction now, which includes a limited edition NFT and merchandise box created by John Cena himself.
You want some? Come get some! You can't see me, my time is now!
Go to WWE.com/NFT for more details.
Let's head back to earlier today. Adam Cole showing up at the CWC ahead of this evening's grudge bout.
And O'Reilly in the headspace, centered and prepared to finally put Adam Cole in the rear view forever.
When you talk about grudges, it was weeks ago. It was the kick heard around the world. Former friends, former partners, turned by jealousy. They're going to meet one-on-one for the NXT Women's title.
I am no one's sidekick.
I have dominated every single person who has stepped up to the plate.
Gonzalez makes history!
All I have to say is, keep them coming.
18 months ago, you debuted, and you've been absolutely unstoppable ever since.
Who is woman enough to challenge Raquel? Huh?
You have defeated former champions in Rhea Ripley, Io Shirai, Ember Moon, and everyone else that has stood in your path. And as long as I have your back, you will always be champion.
What the hell? Oh, Dakota Kai has been in the shadows for way too long.
If it wasn't for me, Raquel Gonzalez would still be nothing.
This is your new NXT Women's Champ.
All I wanted was for Raquel to return the favor. I plucked her out of obscurity and put her in the spotlight. And she selfishly stole that opportunity from me. After giving her everything, that should have been me.
The Raquel Gonzalez era has officially begun.
You're so wrapped up in your own world, you're so oblivious to the fact that the person standing right next to you is about to kick your head off. Bang! I am no one's sidekick.
Oh, Gonzalez is here!
Dakota Kai, you will never be Raquel Gonzalez. You will never have this. If you wanted a chance, all you had to do was ask.
Dakota, I am no longer a star in the making. I am a superestrella. You use people, and then you get jealous when they become bigger stars than you.
Write whatever narrative you want. Villain, jealous bitch, call me whatever you want.
pick of the 36. You will call me NXT Women's Champion. I'm looking forward to the challenge. Sidekick.
Who is woman enough to challenge Raquel?
At NXT TakeOver, you'll get your opportunity.
You're looking at the next NXT Women's Champion.
I am going to tear you apart.
Oh, wait, simply put, will tonight be the night for Dakota Kai?
Gonzalez would not have achieved the things she has done if Dakota Kai had not been by her side. Tonight, Gonzalez does not have the crutch of Dakota Kai to lean on. Here's the key. Dakota taught Raquel everything Raquel knows. Dakota did not teach her everything Dakota knows.
Tonight only courtesy of NXT official partner DraftKings. Everyone can play free for a share of $10,000 in prizes in a free-to-play NXT pool. Just make your picks on the NXT Championship match and the Cole vs. O'Reilly match. If you get enough correct, you'll earn your share of a guaranteed $10,000 cash prize. Download the DraftKings app, sign up with code NXT, and play free for $10,000 tonight. Dakota Kai had any nerves, Beth. She certainly is not showing.
Razor focus here from Dakota Kai. She's gonna need it.
Well, point blank, I'm just gonna throw this out there to both. Is tonight the toughest test of the championship reign of Raquel Gonzalez?
Listen, Raquel Gonzalez has been nothing short of dominant for over a year. Since winning the NXT Championship, she's toppled some of the best in the women's division. However, tonight Gonzalez has a new challenge in the form of a Shattered Alliance. She's got to compartmentalize the emotional portion of this. And, you know, we've seen Dakota Kai do this in the past. She's most dangerous when she's manipulating the feelings of her opponent.
Yeah, I agree with that. Raquel Gonzalez has been dominance personified, but nobody knows Raquel as well as Dakota Kai. Strengths and weaknesses.
The following contest scheduled for one fall is for the NXT Women's Championship! Introducing the challenger from Auckland, New Zealand, Dakota Kai! Her opponent from Rio Grande Valley, Texas, she is the NXT Women's Champion, Raquel
Champion and challenger have not stopped staring at one another since they both entered the ring. It's all about the NXT Women's title. Of course, these two were teammates, as we talked about being former partners, were the first ever NXT Women's Tag Team Champions.
History makers right here. This quickly.
And wait, this week talking about maybe some mind games being played by the challenger who knows Gonzalez maybe better than anyone.
Kai has been a step ahead of Gonzalez every point of this controversial feud that they have going on, and she started this off with intent.
Now, well, right now Gonzalez finally getting her hands on the challenger, and Gonzalez repeatedly. Whoa, there goes Kai. Kai gonna have to use her speed in this matchup because it's the obvious size and strength advantage belonging to Raquel Gonzalez, who is looking for a huge lariat.
Kai just goading Gonzalez in from the off, knowing exactly how Gonzalez was gonna react, like a rampaging bull in there.
course, Dakota Kai knows she can't win the championship via countout, and Noga Gonzalez showcasing that brute strength up and over. Nice counter, though, by Dakota Kai. And Kai now looking for a submission. Center of the ring.
Arm breaker.
Center of the ring, the submission. Gonzalez now having to try to turn her body to reposition herself. And Gonzalez now showcasing that strength one more time. And Kai able to break out for just a moment.
Great strategy from Kai trying to isolate a body part. But Gonzalez again.
Oh! A scorpion kick between the eyes. And a big boot misses. And again, Kai rolls to the outside.
It's a move. What brilliant strategy to start this off from Dakota Kai, just frustrating the champ in their look at Raquel Gonzalez in that ring. Just a ball of fury as Dakota Kai continually stings the champ.
And again, Kai taking her sweet time. The referees count to 5, frustrating the champion. I mean, are we starting to see a crack in the champion's armor? Oh!
Yeah, 100% we're seeing cracks in the champ's armor, and we've seen it over the past few weeks. We're seeing it again tonight. Raquel Gonzalez has always been ice cold, stoic, always in control in it.
Well, right now she's in control with a fall-away slam, wiping out the challenger.
Yeah, but let's go back in time. Let's not forget she's been rampaging in the ring. She's been screaming into the mic. Dakota Kai is fully under the skin and into the mind of the champ, Raquel Gonzalez. Who knows how Raquel's going to react to that? She's never been put in that position before.
Kai to the top rope looking to fly. High cross body, and Gonzalez rolls through.
Oh my God, look at the power here. Back to her feet. Just tossing around Dakota Kai like a rag doll.
Kai trying her best to block right now. She's up high on the shoulders. And Raquel Gonzalez is Kai continuing still to fight, still to struggle, but finally just gets planted on the top turnbuckle.
Yeah, you get the impression perhaps Raquel Gonzalez has tweaked something in that right arm, the shoulder, the bicep, something like that, having difficulty completing that military press of Dakota Kai there. I don't think Kai has a
I had no problem tossing Kai out of the corner.
When you talk about a crack in the armor of Gonzalez, Dakota Kai might have a crack in the rib.
Hey, come on. And Kai goes, and Dakota Kai had it scouted as Gonzalez was looking to climb.
Now attacking the other arm.
And now, Dakota Kai right across. The Kuza kick. Hit perfectly. Gonzalez to the outside. And again, Dakota Kai knows she can only win the championship pinfall submission. She's got to get Gonzalez back in the ring. Gonzalez is out.
That was a replay of the kick heard around the world that started this whole breakdown between the two.
Referees to 5.
How fortunate for Gonzalez. She may have saved the NXT Women's Championship.
Dakota Kai trying her best. On the count of 9, able to get in the ring. Rolls the champion over. Do we have a new champion tonight? And Gonzalez just kicked out at 2. You got to imagine, Wade, and you can see the look in the eyes of Dakota Kai. If Dakota Kai would have hit that kick and Gonzalez would have fallen in the ring, we may have had a new women's champion.
I mean, check out the impact here. I want to point that out. You see again the way the head snapped, and Gonzalez just tumbles to the ground.
Yeah, the sheer size difference of Raquel Gonzalez out there made it so difficult for Dakota Kai to pick Raquel up, get her back in the ring in a timely fashion in order to get that pinfall. You're right, Vic.
Ooh.
That kick, that Yakuza kick connects in the ring, and Raquel stays in the ring. We have a new NXT Women's Champ.
Champion rolling to the outside, Beth, right now, trying to get away maybe from the offensive onslaught by the challenger. Dakota Kai, another precision kick to the jaw.
Gonzalez's whole jaw neck has to be stinging.
Again, Gonzalez. Dakota Kai has been on top of her game, into the cover for the title, and again powering out is Gonzalez. Kai said on Twitter, 14 years led to this match.
Well, how about this moment? Boom, once again, straight to the jaw, and Dakota Kai has identified what's been effective in this matchup and continues to go for the neck and jaw.
Kai said she is done being called a sidekick as well.
Yeah, and it's an absolute disgrace that anybody on this planet would ever reduce somebody like Dakota Kai to being a mere sidekick. Way too talented, way too good. Even more disgraceful that her supposed best friend, Raquel Gonzalez, reduced her to that.
And Gonzalez back up, big clothesline, dropping the challenger. Gonzalez with a boot, and now Gonzalez maybe getting her wits back about her in this matchup.
Gonzalez in the center of the ring, exhibiting that power.
Gonzalez, though, still feeling the effects from the multiple kicks from Dakota Kai.
Steve, a strategic beatdown from Dakota Kai so far in this matchup, and it has weakened the champ way more than perhaps we've ever seen previously.
Sidewalk slam, Gonzalez trying to follow up, and down across the chest of Kai. Champion into the cover, hook of the leg to retain her golden Kai. Kicks out at 2.
Yeah, Kai had the strength to kick out there, but that hooked pin was so tight, she really had to force her way out of it.
Now one more time we can see the force here.
Boom.
Raquel Gonzalez coming across the ribs of Dakota Kai.
Well, we've talked a lot about Dakota Kai, but Beth, you got to talk about Raquel Gonzalez. Certainly has stepped up as champion.
I mean, she's envisioned herself as the face of the women's division. She doesn't want to live in mediocrity. She wants to finish things up right here.
Looking for
the Chingona bomb.
And she connected again, a counter by Kai.
Completely scattered, extending that right arm once again, stretching that bicep tendon, trying to hyperextend the elbow. No! The power of Raquel Gonzalez almost breaking out of the ring, connecting this time with that turnbuckle.
Dakota Kai realized early on in this matchup the damage done to the bicep of Gonzalez.
Gonzalez is really struggling in there now, and this is where Dakota Kai needs to capitalize.
Looking for that scorpion kick. This time it's countered, and it's countered by Gonzalez. Up again! Looking for a power bomb! Sit down power bomb! Connects! Gonzalez into the cover to retain her NXT Women's Championship, and Kai again somehow able to kick out. I mean, Kai is taking a beating back.
I mean, we know Kai is a resilient competitor, but my God, take a look at this. And then this powerbomb just knocking the wind out of Dakota Kai. I mean, I'm just shocked that she was able to kick out.
You were shocked. Gonzalez was shocked. But Dakota Kai continuing to fight in this NXT Women's Championship match. We talk about this being the toughest test for Gonzalez. Kai certainly taking the champion to her limit.
Yeah, 100%. You mentioned it briefly there, Beth, the rebounding nature of Dakota Kai. Back on her feet, back on the attack.
Oh! Kai now following up some more high-impact offense, rolling through her shoulders down. Referee in perfect position to count. And another kick out by Gonzalez. And look at the position now, though, for the champion.
This could look very bad for Dakota Kai.
Oh, man!
Straight across the midsection of Dakota Kai. I don't know how much of that Raquel knew about, but it was highly effective.
I mean, take a look here. Kai's body hitting that rope and just being propelled outside onto the hard ramp.
Take a look at the Capitol Wrestling Center, and we got to be mindful of something. What you just saw from Dakota Kai, this isn't a normal entryway on NXT. That ring entryway extends to the ring. That's not a soft landing.
No, nothing about that is soft. No padding whatsoever. Dakota Kai's back has to be on fire.
Kai, Gonzalez, locking eyes. The two former friends, bitter rivals. It's come down to this. Going up is Kai, blocked by Gonzalez with the strength. Gonzalez now bouncing off. Coming and gets caught under the jaw.
Precision super kick. Give me more.
Wow. I don't think she's saying give me more.
Another kick connects. Kai now starting to pick up the intensity, trying to chop down Gonzalez. Couple of kicks low, going up, looking for it. Oh, the chiropractor. Is that going to send Dakota Kai to the championship victory? And Gonzalez kicks out again.
There's so many emotional levels to this, the bitterness between these two women. You see the force of the kick again to that jawline.
And then following up, boom, high impact offense to the spine, bending the champion, but Gonzalez again able to show the heart of a champion.
Up the head, Dakota Kai, come on. Come on, let's go. 1, up the head. 2, up the head. 3, up the head, Dakota. 4, hey, get off the head.
Kai repeatedly has said Gonzalez would be nothing without her. Gonzalez, though, blocking out all the noise.
Once again, Raquel.
Whoa!
Champ falling hard to the outside there inadvertently, but Dakota Kai on her feet already looking to capitalize.
Champion and challenger to the outside. Kai again quickly getting the champion back into the ring. And Dakota Kai now might have to turn it up a notch. Looking to go high risk. Will she get the reward? Up and down. Double stomp to the midsection. Kai into the cover. Hook up both legs. And again the champion powers out. A look of disbelief again etched on the face of Dakota Kai. What is Kai going to have to do to keep Gonzalez down?
Dakota Kai's asking herself that very same question as she's learning what her former best friend truly is made of.
Now, Kai trying to hoist up Gonzalez. Gonzalez, though, looking for a gut-wrench bomb of some sort. Instead, just running, stomach first into that top turnbuckle. And both these women know each other so well.
Of course, we know the damage that Dakota Kai has already sustained to that midsection. That will not help things, and now balanced precariously on that second row, dueling it out. Both ladies, Kai getting the better of it once again.
Charging right back in as the champion. Both these women showing you what it means to be the NXT Women's Champion, to represent this brand. Is Kai repeatedly again with a series of headbutts, and now look at the escapability.
One kick to the jaw of the champ. The champ is getting asked questions that she never knew existed.
Kai with the champion measure, charging back in.
Counter. Yakuza kick again.
Oh my God!
You gotta be kidding me!
Set up for the Chingona bomb!
Off the middle turnbuckle, cover, count. Gonzalez retains.
Here is your winner, and still the NXT Women's Champion, Raquel Gonzalez.
Gonzalez tonight knew she was in for the fight of her career, but in the end, the result is the same. Still on top of the women's division here in NXT, Raquel Gonzalez.
After multiple attempts throughout this match, Gonzalez knew what her ace in the hole was. Dakota Kai right here. Gonzalez shifting momentum mid-air, and this would be the decisive moment. The Chingona bomb driving Dakota Kai through the mat. And once again, Raquel Gonzalez stands tall atop the NXT Women's Division.
Take one more look. I mean, Beth, have you ever seen anything like this?
I mean, Raquel Gonzalez makes it look effortless. Incredible moment for an incredible champion.
The NXT Women's Division still goes through one woman, and that woman is Raquel Gonzalez. The former NXT UK Women's Champion is here?
It is so good to see everyone.
You're welcome. You look completely ridiculous.
I'll have the classic bacon cheeseburger. Swiss cheese, please.
You have issues with me? Please!
At least he doesn't make the rest of us look like idiots. Another order of wings, please.
Oh, come on. We're eating good in the neighborhood today. Let's all get along.
And maybe add to his order a nice glass of shut the...
Boys!
You don't talk to me that way.
Applebee's. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood. I'm here to meet a group.
Yeah? No shirt, no service.
Actually, table for one.
Excellence aplenty already tonight, and here we get a glimpse of Karrion Kross warming up ahead of a huge title defense against Samoa Joe in tonight's main event.
When you talk about huge title matches, how about the most anticipated rematch in NXT UK history? It's a rematch 10 months in the making. Can Dragunov end the historic reign of Walter here tonight?
Probably the match of the year 2020 in WWE.
It's Ilya Dragunov versus Walter for the United Kingdom Championship.
I only survived. Barely. Nobody talks about how you mentally suffer if you go in with all the belief you have in your body and you just not succeed. Failures like this, they hurt your mind, and the memories haunt you, and somehow I just lost control.
Is there any hope for Ilya Dragunov in finding balance and peace?
I see that scared little boy deep down. I know you're scared of
Who can save Dragunov from himself?
Walter became my nightmare.
I'm standing here in front of you as the longest reigning NXT UK champion in history. A man who stands atop his world like a colossus. I will forever be the NXT United Kingdom champion.
Nightmares can come back, and it did.
Oh my God! Come to the river meadows!
They're gonna get up again, out of these ashes. I'm now ready to become his nightmare.
It is official. Walter will defend his NXT UK Championship against Ilya Dragunov at NXT TakeOver 36. The world will be watching.
The most anticipated NXT UK title match in history.
This is going to be a war.
Ilya, the NXT TakeOver, I'm gonna show your real face to the whole world. Full of doubt and full of fear. At TakeOver, you will witness chaos. You will witness rage. I am unbeatable. If that leads to brutality, that's what it is. An unbeatable kingdom will fall when I will end Walter's reign and become the NXT UK champion.
Feel the intensity coming off both competitors. This is the match you, Wade, have been waiting for.
Cannot wait for this one. What a matchup we saw just 10 months ago. The most anticipated rematch in the history of NXT UK. Believe me, everyone I know in the world of sports entertainment went out their way and watched that matchup, all coming back with the same report. That one personified brutality.
And don't forget, there's still time. You can play for free for a share of $10,000 in prizes from DraftKings and the free-to-play NXT pools. Download the app now, make your picks, and if you get enough correct, you'll earn your share of a guaranteed $10,000 cash prize. Download the DraftKings app, sign up with code NXT, and play free for $10,000 tonight, now.
My dear friend Nigel McGuinness said that the first encounter between Dragunov and Walter left such an impression. It was destined to see these two clash one more time. They've raised the bar for the NXT UK Championship, and I have no doubt they will again tonight at TakeOver 36.
And there you see the NXT UK champion. No Eichner, no Bartel. Today, Beth, marks day 870 in the longest reign in the modern era for Walter.
The power of Walter, I mean, with a reign like this, it can only be described as surreal. I mean, everybody's been asking how can anyone take Walter off his years-long course of destruction? The mood has changed here in the CWC. Walter brings an imposing presence unlike any other superstar we've ever seen.
You simply have to admire the nobility, the majesty, the elegance of that man, the General, Walter.
April 5th, 2019, NXT TakeOver New York was when Walter won the NXT UK title. Will that reign continue here tonight?
The following contest, scheduled for one fall, is for the NXT United Kingdom Championship! Introducing the challenger from Moscow, Russia, weighing in at 210 pounds, Ilya Dragunov! His opponent from Vienna, Austria, weighing in at 297 pounds, representing Imperium, he is the NXT United Kingdom Champion, Walter!
Something to think about up front in this matchup. The only man in NXT or NXT UK to have pinned Walter is Ilya Dragunov. That took place, though, October 15th, 2020. Dragunov will not accept failure. A trait instilled within him by his parents. Can Dragunov persevere here tonight?
Generational quality. It's late. Konstantin, Dragunov's son, his 4-year-old son's already sleeping, but Dragunov wants to make sure he wakes up to his father as NXT UK champion.
You see Dragunov, the bandage on his forehead, suffered from last week in a match against Roderick Strong. They're trying to square up right now with Walter.
Dragunov coming into this with a lot of confidence. He's been testing his metal the last couple weeks here in NXT, preparing for this moment.
Back it out.
Walter quickly closing the gap between he and Dragunov. Whoa! Swing and a miss. Oh! It's Dragunov again!
Giving Walter a taste of his own medicine with those bear chops.
Well, Walter all of a sudden fired up early on. Walter seemed to be calm, cool, and collected. It was Dragunov who called Walter arrogant. It was Walter who called Dragunov a fraud.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can call Walter arrogant because he has the success to back it up. Day 870. You deserve to be arrogant if that's it.
And now Walter again right on top of Ilya Dragunov. Not much of a feeling out process. These two know each other so very well. And there again, another nice counter by Walter. Back into the front face lock. And, you know, Ilya Dragunov is a superstar who feeds off of pain.
We've seen it in all of his matches, including last week when he sustained the laceration in his brow bone. I mean, it didn't deter his drive. It turned it up to a 10. And if Dragunov can transform that offense of Walter into motivation, we might see a new NXT UK champion.
Feeds off pain. He certainly will not go hungry tonight. This match is going to be pain personified, I suspect, for both competitors.
Walter latching on to Dragunov. Dragunov quickly able to fight his way free. Now Dragunov trying to take Walter over, trying to take Walter down. Could be looking for a submission of sorts. Dragunov, though, transitions right on top, trying to grab a single leg, and Walter just too strong, too big, too powerful, but got dropped by Dragunov. Dragunov charges in, gets caught, and he just caught Walter!
Powerhouse maneuver there from Ilya Dragunov.
And Dragunov now trying to snatch in that single leg, and Walter getting to the bottom rope. Dragunov showing no fear, going right at Walter, but Walter now looks like he's done playing around. And look at Dragunov, though.
Dragunov ripping the bandage off those stitches on his face that he got just a few days ago on NXT TV. Clearly maybe an issue later on in the matchup if that gets opened up.
We talk about the first encounter between these two. You know, I bet that bring Edge into the conversation because Edge credits their first encounter with rejuvenating his love for the industry.
I mean, Adam was rehabbing a triceps injury, and he watched that encounter to analyze it, pull it apart, and be inspired mostly by the intensity that these two men bring to the table. If it's the mat or taking to the air or their strikes, nobody has more intensity than Dragunov and Walter.
Capital Wrestling Center feeding the intensity of the challenger here tonight. There's now Walter trying to create separation, but look at Dragunov.
Yeah, this is a real surprise. Walter is used to getting into matches and dominating from the beginning. It has to be said, Ilya Dragunov has taken the front seat so far in the early goings in this one.
Look, it's been 10 months since that first matchup, and we heard from Dragunov said he's now ready to become Walter's nightmare. As Walter hoists up and drops belly-to-back suplex, but Dragunov holds on.
That vice-like grip. See Dragunov gripping his own hand, and look at the color of Walter's head, beginning to turn red from the blood flow.
Always moving for the fighting spirit of Ilya Dragunov. Capital Wrestling Center been waiting for this matchup since it was announced. And again, Walter now just doing anything he can to break the hold.
Walter in kind of desperation this in the matchup, but there you go. Back to tight with a huge strikes. Immediately firing back, though, is the mad rush of Dragunov.
There comes the challenger right into the champion center of the ring. Look at Dragunov. Hard forearm. And catching the chop, the patented chop from Walter. Dragunov trying to wrestle down the champion back down to the mat. Is he going to be successful? Dragunov again now. Looking for another submission, trying to crank on the right arm.
Well, we know the devastation that chop can cause. Very intelligent here by Dragunov to isolate that arm and try to damage. Look at the short arm scissors transition here by Dragunov. Beautiful strategy.
Dragunov doing a nice job, too, of keeping Walter close to him, not to feel the effects of those chops.
See the size difference of these two, and what a smart strategy from Dragunov to keep the big man grounded and really neutralize that size threat. I mean, it is a metaphorical mountain that Dragunov has to climb tonight against the big Austrian.
Look at them.
So far, so good.
Look at the veins popping out, and Dragunov just trying everything he can to hold on, but now being muscled up high above Walter. And Dragunov trying to continue to hold on to Walter as best he can.
Hanging on for dear life. Let go. You're going to the outside, mate.
Oh, and finally Walter connects. Talk about changing the complexion of a matchup.
You want to know why his reign has been 870 days? That massive chop is a big part of it.
Uh-oh, watch out, guys, right out here in Walter. We've seen this in the past. Power bomb! Spine first goes Dragunov.
You get the sense that now finally the general has got control of this matchup. It is punishment time for Ilya Dragunov.
And this just that nasty side now. Walter could be looking for the sleeper, trying to put down Dragunov. Dragunov trying his best to block, trying to keep his arms extended, not allowing Walter to fully sink in. Walter's patented submission.
Yeah, that's exactly what shut the door on Dragunov's chances in their first matchup 10 months ago.
Dragunov clearly not wanting that to happen again, but you see this where the size of Walter becomes the issue.
Big German suplex from Walter, and Dragunov back to his feet and then falls, almost collapses in the turnbuckles. I mean, take a look. Dragunov has been taking a beating, but listen to this.
One more time, and you see Walter right here, this landing on the corner. Dragunov has struggled to recover since then, but he's not done. German suplex, turning Dragunov inside out.
And now Walter imposing his will against the challenger. Could be looking for a Boston Crab. If Walter can turn Dragunov, think about the pain must be shooting through Dragunov's spine after that power bomb on the outside on the ring apron. Walter trying to step over, kicks right to the spine, and now Walter has turned over Dragunov.
It's 297 pounds of Austrian on the small of the back of Ilya Dragunov, right in the center of the ring. Try dragging your way out of that while biting on his own hand in order to cope with the pain.
And Walter transitioning into another submission.
Oh, look at the awkward angle here of the knee of Dragunov as Walter just clubbing away, trying to get that cross face, contorting the spine.
You talking about Walter's face, Beth, turning colors earlier tonight. What about Dragunov's face now? As Walter and as Wade just pointed out, nearly 300 pounds across the back as the Capitol Wrestling Center willing in the challenger here tonight. And quickly snapmared over Walter. Oh, another kick to the spine.
Never wasting a single opportunity to deliver extra pain to the challenger, especially apparently to that spine of Ilya Dragunov.
Walter has slowed the complexion of this matchup down another form. And look, Walter believes Dragunov doesn't even have the mental ability to step up tonight in this matchup. As Dragunov trying everything he can to chop down the champion. Oh. And again the sleeper. Walter with a sleeper again. Dragunov able to block. Getting his hands up the best he can do. But now Beth, it looks like it's cinched in.
Walter's got it locked in tight and then switching to powerbomb position.
Oh, Dragunov able to block. Trying to hoist up 300 pounds to Walter.
Yeah, it's flipped him over, but that took everything that Ilya Dragunov had.
Dragunov gasping for air.
And, right back kick under the jaw. Walter's rocked, Dragunov feeling it. Bounces off with a big clothesline. Walter's still on his feet. Champion rocked again, clothesline to the back. Dragunov runs in, but ran right into a knee. Around goes Dragunov. Constantine special block. Up and down. What a suplex. Center of the ring for Walter. Are we going to see day 871 and a kick out by Dragunov?
Dragunov desperately clinging on. You know for sure there's no way that man has the words "I quit" in his body as we see another attempt at that Constantine special. Walter just having it too well scouted. Turn it into a suplex and just a smidge away from the 3 count.
Walter tonight, Wade, of course, wants to remind how dominating he is, leading by example for the rest of Imperium, which is watching this match closely.
Absolutely, the Imperium lads are left in no doubt as to what standards are expected by the General Walter. The mat is sacred. And Walter is not a do-as-I-say kind of general. Upper chest and neck of Ilya Dragunov is red raw.
Just take a look at the handprint across the chest of Dragunov. Somehow, challenger back to his feet and then gets caught with a size 17. Dragunov could be out.
He has absolutely no clue where he's at right now. And Walter realizes that, just stalking his prey.
When we talk about, Wade, you mentioned a buffet of pain. Well, there's an extra helping right there, Dragunov.
This guy is ridiculous. The harder you hit Dragunov, the more angry, the more ferocious he gets.
And look, Dragunov said, bring it, Walter. Walter doing just that. It's what we've come to expect from these two superstars. And look, it was Dragunov who regained the ability to control his emotions. But at some point, you gotta let the emotions flow.
Dragunov lacing those fingers to try to get more leverage. Can he get it locked in?
Looking for a submission is Dragunov. Walter, though, trying to get back to his knees, create a little separation. But now Dragunov, knee after knee, right into the massive chest of the champion.
Somehow turning this one on a dime, dominating now with his huge back fist to the neck of the champ.
Any normal man would be knocked out cold from one of those.
We knew it would be physical. We knew it would be brutal. And again, now look at Dragunov, repeated with the elbows. Walter center of the ring. Walter, though, able to block one elbow, trying to hoist up Dragunov. Challenger up on the champion's shoulders. Again, it's now Dragunov trying to fight free. Lands on his feet, doesn't relinquish the no, and he just caught Walter under the jaw.
The champ is absolutely raw, but can Dragunov even get himself to his feet to make this count?
Look at the chest of Dragunov.
Just a beat too long.
Oh, what a lariat! the cover by Walter to retain the NXT UK title. Dragunov kicks out at 2.
Yeah, that is the difference between being great and being an 870-day reigning champion.
Well, Dragunov said he will not accept failure, but check out this. Once again, vicious offense from Walter continues.
Capitol Wrestling Center fired up. What a match. 10 months in the making for the rematch. The most anticipated rematch in NXT UK history. Walter, the longest reigning champion in WWE's modern era, to his feet. The challenger, Ilya Dragunov. Oh, pulled himself up.
What kind of impact is that? Not only on the body, but the mind of Ilya Dragunov.
Dragunov, we talked about being able to control his rage, and at some moment it would boil over.
And feeding off of the pain, funneling that pain into some offense of his own.
You gotta be kidding me. That's 300 pounds over with a German suplex. Look at the blood blisters on the neck of Dragunov.
Dragunov like a man possessed, but once again, a beat the General's back up.
And so is Dragunov, charging it, bit in the end of the jaw of Walter. Champion is rocked. No way, no way. Walter, up and over. Dragunov into the cover. Oh. Just able to kick out is Walter. Wow, but look at the eyes. Look at the eyes, Beth, of the challenger. This indeed is awesome. This is all about the NXT UK Championship. The challenger, Ilya Dragunov, high above the ring. Looking to fly. Champion prone center of the ring. Oh! Again, it's Dragunov. First with a drop kick. No wasted time. Dragunov quickly scaling the ropes. Dragunov looking down. Senton connects. Dragunov can feel it. Charging in and oh no! Dragunov got capped. Looking for that torpedo Moscow. Gets caught with the sleeper center.
Right into that sleeper, locked in by the wall. Landing high on the back of the neck after that modified German suplex. But straight back to
torpedo Moscow. Walter's rocked. Dragunov can't capitalize.
These two men still moving after all of this. Let's take a look one more time right here. To the back of the neck and shoulders, taking Walter down.
Back to live action. Dragunov with Walter in his sights. Charges in, runs over Walter, into the cover. Hook of the leg. Oh, come on.
Torpedo Moscow failing to put Walter away, and perhaps Ilya Dragunov now realizes if that doesn't work, what else do I have left in the tank?
This is turning into a test of the soul between Dragunov and Walter. And again, now going low. Into the thigh goes Dragunov. Dragunov charging. Oh, it just gets dropped. Walter quickly in the cover. Hook of the leg to retain the title. And Dragunov kicks out.
Listen, Walter has taken the best shot of Ilya Dragunov. Not once, but twice now. Still on his feet. Still going up top.
Walter for a moment gets caught. No. That'd be the damnedest superplex I've ever seen.
This man is an absolute animal. What on earth has possessed him?
Dragunov through the air with a drop kick. Gets all the drop kick, but again, so much bet, so much taken on a champion and challenger.
Dragunov, the relentless pursuit of the NXT UK Championship. Please look at the chest, the back, the waltz. Every inch of Dragunov's skin.
Ultimate shoulder, boom! A drop kick! 300 pounds throwing a drop kick. Walter, up goes a challenger, power bomb. Into the cover, center of the ring. The Reign can do it, does it? The Reign doesn't continue.
The crowd chanting, fight forever, they just might.
Oh my word, Walter just drop-kicked the soul out of Ilya Dragunov, hitting with a powerbomb, yet still the Russian continues.
Listen to the brutality. Oh! Dragunov holding on instinct right now. Walter again, another powerbomb. Walter though, Walter instead of going for the cover,
the referee even looks concerned here.
This is how Walter won the championship. To the top, big splash! Walter, go! You gotta be kidding me, man!
How much is enough?
This is absolutely inhuman. Please look at this impact to the sternum here. Dragunov sent reeling head over heels, and then it continued with a power move. High on the shoulders, and then followed up by this moment, Walter taking to the air. All 290 pounds landing from the top rope, but Dragunov is still in this.
Oh, but right now the champion on top of the challenger, raining down rights, raining down lefts, and now finally again locking in that sleeper.
Well, this is exactly how he won the first match, but somehow Dragunov, after that pounding, managing to make his way out of it. But only answered by a boot from the Austrian.
Oh, they're caught the top, and oh! Dragunov again rocking the champion. And Dragunov, you got to imagine he is leaving everything tonight in the ring. And look at Dragunov, laying it down elbows. One after another goes Dragunov. Challenger wearing out the champion. Referee in great position. Walter trying to defend himself.
Dragunov snapped in there.
Climbing on his back is Dragunov.
Sleeper of his own, squeezing the champion center of the ring. The champion looking like he's fading.
Dragunov trying to squeeze Walter. Trying to take down, but somehow Walter to his feet.
Just too big, too strong, fighting his way out of there.
Oh my God, no way.
Precarious position. Oh! That's one way to break the sleeper if you're Walter. But look at Dragunov, relentless.
The man has snapped.
One after another, strike after strike. Again, the sleeper's locked in by Dragunov. Dragunov again, trying to squeeze the will, trying to squeeze the life, trying to squeeze the championship reign out of Walter.
Walter seeing the world around him start to go black, struggling once again to get to his feet, but all the weight of Dragunov weighing down on him as he clenches those carotid arteries.
For a second time. Oh!
But still, Dragunov holds on. Dragunov is still locked in.
Dragunov will not be denied. Squeezing the determination, the will, the fighting spirit of the man who will always move forward. Dragunov holding on. Walter is fading center of the ring.
Dragunov clinging on for dear life here, loading up more shots yet again. Champion in a world of pain. Champion.
Challenger right on top.
Our eyes.
Capital Wrestling Center willing on Dragunov. Oh, to the back of the neck. Dragunov again with another forearm. And Dragunov locks in the sleeper.
Oh my God!
Here is your winner by submission, and new NXT United Kingdom Champion, Ilya Dragunov.
achieves his dream.
Not only that, but achieve the dream. His son Constantine will wake up tomorrow and find that his father is the NXT UK champion.
What a moment for Ilya Dragunov, who ends the 870-day reign of Walter.
To say this was a war is the understatement of the century. Dragunov giving every ounce of his being to defeating Walter here tonight.
I mean, we saw just about everything in this matchup. I mean, both of these superstars brought it from start to finish. A match, a rematch, 10 months in the making, delivered on all levels of brutality, of physicality, of pure aggression, of desire, of will, of determination. And in the end, Dragunov victorious. We witnessed chaos. We witnessed rage. And the undefeatable kingdom has fallen to the new NXT UK champion, Ilya Dragunov.
Tonight only, save up to 40% off championship titles and tees only at WWEshop.com.
Gentlemen, Cameron Grimes, the new $1 Million champion. How does it feel?
Mackenzie Mitchell, there's a man that's looking down on me right now. And he's smiling ear to ear. Because his boy just became a champion. And not only a champion, Mackenzie Mitchell, but the $1 Million champion.
That's right, Cameron. You know, I said I came here looking for someone who could carry on the legacy of the $1 Million Man. And when I saw the fight in you, every time I've watched you get in the ring, sometimes you got beat up and battered a little bit tonight, but you have never been a quitter, and you weren't a quitter tonight, and because you weren't a quitter, you are the new $1 Million champion. And I say that calls for a big celebration, so here's where we're gonna start. And young lady, you don't have to go party with us, but you go have a good time too, because this man is my man. He's the man carrying on the legacy of the $1 Million Man, and I couldn't be prouder of you, pal.
The party don't have to stop tonight, Ted. Just like this money ain't gonna stop. The party ain't gonna stop. Tonight, tomorrow night, Tuesday night, the $1 Million celebration. You and me, we're going to the moon. Woo! Yeah!
Well, will Samoa Joe have the same success, putting in final preparations for his NXT Championship match still to come later tonight against Karrion Kross.
Joe, I was thinking we've had our differences over the years. I'm very grateful, though, that you came back and helped me sort out the chaos. And look at you now, you've got your boots on and your tape, and you're doing what you do best. You're back on the active roster. And as the general manager of NXT, I have to stay unbiased and hope that your championship match tonight entertains the fans. But I want you to know, I want you to kick his ass.
Mr. Regal's words are just like the NXT UK Championship match we just witnessed, nothing short of inspiring.
Absolutely, and you know, we talk about all night long what a night it's been here for NXT TakeOver 36, but coming up next, it's the most personal rivalry in recent NXT memory. It's going to be 2 out of 3 falls. It's former brothers, former teammates who have had a falling out of epic proportions. Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, the undisputed finale.
TakeOver.
That's what next week is all about. Testing myself against the best competition this industry has. Next week, it's Cole O'Reilly 2.
Sunrise! You gotta be kidding me! Last shot!
Gentlemen, your match at TakeOver will be contested 2 out of 3 falls. You will both pick a stipulation. If the match goes to a 3rd fall, I will pick the stipulation.
At TakeOver 36, the first fall, it's gonna be straight up. Pinfall or submission. The second fall needs to be a street fight. We ain't going to a 3rd fall. I'm gonna beat you 2 falls to 0, and I'm gonna be the guy who wins the Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly saga.
I knew this was gonna happen. If there is a permanently decided fall needed, it will be contested in a steel cage.
The undisputed finale. The end of an era, the end of the era. And no matter what happens, for better, for worse, I walk away with closure.
When I think about everything that the Undisputed Era has accomplished, and I think how you have this preconceived notion that you somehow were a huge part of that journey, you are kidding yourself, Kyle. You talk about everything that we've been through, everything we've accomplished, everything we've done together. Without me, you are nothing. Do you hear me? Without Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly is nothing. You wouldn't have even made it to NXT without me. You would have never won a championship without me. You would have never been able to stand in front of a 15,000-seat arena with people chanting Undisputed without me. It was always Adam Cole. It always has been Adam Cole. It always will be. It blows my mind that you somehow have tricked yourself into thinking that you're on the same level as a guy like me. I am a once-in-a-lifetime superstar.
Nobody can touch me. No one ever has. No one ever will. I am the greatest superstar that this brand has ever seen. I carried you on my back. The entire world knows it. Hell, even your wife knows it.
We're either going to fight again in the sidewalk, or we're going to fight again in the ring. You can't say and do the things he's done and get away with it.
Now that I don't give a damn, I'm the most dangerous man you've ever stepped foot in the ring with.
At TakeOver 36, I end Kyle O'Reilly. And that is undisputed.
You mean nothing to me.
The following contest is a 2 out of 3 falls match. Introducing first, from Vancouver, BC, weighing in at 200 pounds, Kyle O'Reilly.
NXT TakeOver 36 is brought to you in part by the new WWE Credit One Visa. Scan the QR code or visit ultimatewwecard.com to see if you pre-qualify now. It's safe to say, Beth, that Kyle O'Reilly, much like we talked about earlier tonight, done living in the shadows.
Yeah, I mean, there's a narrative Adam Cole's been spinning that Kyle O'Reilly is a number 2, and I'm here to tell you, O'Reilly's no follower or a lackey. He's continued to prove that. but putting this rivalry in the rearview is the only way to step out of the shadows of Adam Cole once and for all. It's time for the rubber match to end this once and for all, and O'Reilly to come out on top.
2 out of 3 falls. The first fall will be a traditional matchup, followed by a street fight, and if necessary, as we heard from our general manager, William Regal, the third fall will be contested inside a steel cage.
His opponent from Panama City, Florida, weighing in at 205 pounds, Adam Cole!
Oh, Wade, who has more pressure on their shoulders tonight?
Well, for me, it's clear it's Kyle O'Reilly. For all Kyle's achievements, he hasn't done what this man, Adam Cole, has done in NXT. Like it or not, he is in Cole's shadow. He did step out briefly after his victory at NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver, but then he went right back into the shadow once again when Cole tied it at 1-1 at the Great American Bash. Failed today, and Kyle will forever sit in the shade cast by Adam Cole.
One more glance from Cole over to O'Reilly.
I mean, there's a couple good points made, Wade, and also to add on to that, although O'Reilly's proven himself as a main event player, Cole's had the most recent fall.
Oh, look at this though, Beth. Both men squaring right up and going right at it, right on the bell. You talk about tensions, you talk about animosity, you talk about personal vendetta. It's Cole O'Reilly. O'Reilly dropping Cole, who comes over here close to us, and look who quickly is on his heels.
No feeling out process required. Flying knee from Kyle O'Reilly, catching the jaw of Adam Cole, and Adam Cole in a world of trouble from the early goings in this one.
Both these men here on the outside again. This 2 out of 3 falls, and it's Kyle O'Reilly now ping-ponging Cole.
I don't think any of us are surprised at the pace of this matchup from the start. O'Reilly has the game face on, looking to destroy Cole.
Oh no, O'Reilly knocked right out in front of us again. What a nasty landing.
Adam Cole, very smart, got away from Kyle O'Reilly, put a little distance in there, and then capitalized on that movement. And, well, this is supposed to be a traditional matchup. Far from it right now.
You know what Cole's thinking.
Oh, my word.
No.
Whoa, and whoa! O'Reilly has felt that solid steel in the past. Turned things right around, and we can see firsthand the rage.
Cole clearly trying for that brainbuster, and thankfully for Kyle O'Reilly's safety in this matchup and continuation in the matchup, managing to reverse it.
And now O'Reilly measuring Cole, able to catch. O'Reilly is Cole.
Adam Cole completely suckering in Kyle O'Reilly, playing possum there. Again, Kyle O'Reilly just too quick for it.
And again, as Ben talked about this rivalry, the first 2 meetings split this year, leading us to this undisputed finale. And Adam Cole right now on the receiving end of some vicious offense. That could be a knockout blow. O'Reilly for the first fall into the cover and a kick out.
O'Reilly there not even hooking a leg on that one, immediately gaining the mount position, and perhaps going for that cross arm break.
Looking for that submission. Cole trying to block it, has his hands.
Wisely
right
gripped.
Look at O'Reilly right into the ankle lock, center of the ring.
Transition, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills from the master himself, Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh, is Cole going to tap his O'Reilly? O'Reilly going to pick up the first fall, and again, Cole trying to fight his way free. I mean, wait, how important is the first fall in this sort of matchup?
Well, of course it's important, but then one. Oh my word, this could be the
Cole get the first fall, cover, and a kick out.
Yeah, let me tell you this, you lose the first fall, you leave yourself a mountain to climb. It ain't the end as we take another look. Superb knee to the jaw from Kyle O'Reilly, but let me tell you this, you leave a mountain to climb if you don't get the first.
I disagree with you 100%, Wade. The first fall's the most important. Whoever snags that first victory sets the tone for the rest of this match.
Oh, Itsuguri upside the head, and wait a minute, coming right back, O'Reilly catching the super kick, spinning around. Cole delivers a clothesline. Into the cover goes O'Reilly, looking for that ever-important first fall. And Cole again kicking out at 2. Again, the pace these two are setting right now.
Discus clothesline there with some real momentum from Kyle O'Reilly. And Adam Cole just about...
Oh, looking for that
That'll
knee.
do it.
Caught by the super kick.
Cole not going for the cover. That is a surprise. That caught Kyle O'Reilly flush on the jaw with momentum.
Well, Cole knows he might need a little bit more here tonight. Look at
Panama
that
Sunrise.
Oh, able to block. With his shoulders down by O'Reilly. O'Reilly got him.
The winner of the first fall is Kyle O'Reilly. The second fall is a street fight where anything goes.
Wow, what a shocker in the early goings. Kyle O'Reilly going 1-up. Let me clarify my statement earlier. The first fall is not the most important. The final fall is the most important. But now, just one fall away from victory is Kyle O'Reilly, and with the proverbial mountain to climb, it's Adam Cole.
Cole realizing it, and now it's a street fight. Anything and everything is legal. I think you're going to get just about everything between these two. Oh, the animosity at an all-time high. The hatred at an all-time high is now Cole with a steel chair into the stomach.
Yeah, well, let's not forget who requested the traditional match, because it's in his ballpark. That was Kyle O'Reilly. Who requested the street fight? Adam Cole, because this is his wheelhouse. He is a man who has no compassion or empathy for other human beings, as we might see very shortly.
Well, Cole's putting that to the limit. No idea what's going through the mind of Adam Cole, the sadistic mind that Cole and Witt now getting trash can. He's Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh, right where Adam Cole belongs.
Yeah, it might look ridiculous, but believe me, this is tough. You cannot see your opponent flying.
Oh, you might not see him, but Cole certainly fell O'Reilly.
No way to protect yourself from that impact. Really intelligent move there from Kyle O'Reilly. Highly effective.
Maybe Cole can use the Butler outfit that's in there. You see one more time, O'Reilly just kicking in the steel garbage can.
You know, it's hard not to think of the ups and the downs and over the decade-long friendship between these two, but both really have taken the hatred for one another to new levels. Kyle O'Reilly, I mean, this is right in O'Reilly's wheelhouse, wouldn't you say?
No, I'd say quite the opposite. It's Adam Cole's wheelhouse, but somehow Kyle O'Reilly has taken the early goings in this particular street fight.
Think about what happened at Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, and that was the shock of all shocks.
Oh!
That is why that man, Adam Cole, wanted to put the situation right.
Oh, wait a minute.
O'Reilly.
Did you see?
Fell hard on the corner of the apron, some desperation. I feel some panic from Adam Cole, finding an opportunity, and O'Reilly just writhing in pain. He may have broken a rib.
Looks like he's cracked something down there. I thought it was arm at first, but you're right, Beth. I think it is indeed the rib. Straight into the corner of our table. For once, our table barely moving, and all of the impact of that going straight onto that damaged midsection.
Back to what you were saying, Wade. Adam Cole has now a game plan. There's a bullseye on the chest. As Beth mentioned, the ribs of Kyle O'Reilly. The referee is checking on O'Reilly. O'Reilly gasping for air.
Well, and let's not forget in this moment, Adam Cole is swimming upstream as he is down one fall. He's got to level the playing field and do it fast.
Oh, and again into the ribs, into the midsection goes Adam Cole.
Well, we talked about it earlier, sadistic.
All legal.
No empathy, just punishing and torturing that man.
Oh! The undeniable big match player, Adam Cole, could be wiping his hands here with the second fall.
A wealth of trash talk to go along with it.
Cole could stake his claim to being the greatest NXT superstar ever here tonight.
Yeah, well, could you really argue it with someone? Look at his record. Triple Crown winner here in NXT, the longest reigning NXT champion in history. If he wins tonight, there will never be another question asked. Adam Cole is that man.
Oh, Cole taking too much time.
Cole proud of himself.
Oh, no, O'Reilly. O'Reilly for that right hand. So much damage done to the midsection. O'Reilly couldn't even throw a punch.
When you have damage to the ribs, the abdominal muscles, even just raising your arms can be agony. Kyle O'Reilly struggling to even get to his feet.
Yeah, I've got to say, Kyle O'Reilly is one fall up right now, but with those damaged ribs, the favorite has to be Adam Cole. He's battling a weakened man here.
Cole's created an implement of destruction with that chair.
Well, sliding out in order to avoid the chair, but catching the pole on the way out, and the sadistic smile of Adam Cole tells its own story.
Cole enjoying every second of this. Enjoying every second of the punishment he is inflicting onto Kyle O'Reilly.
Cole almost acting impressed.
And again, right into the barricade. Everything is legal. The decision has to happen inside the ring. But Adam Cole right now having a lot of fun at the expense of Kyle O'Reilly. Can't even get to his feet.
Yeah, I'm struggling to see a path to victory for Kyle O'Reilly at this point, and Adam Cole knows it. Everything Adam Cole tries works out to perfection.
Could be moments away from a last shot. What? Oh!
Cole baited him in.
Into the ribs again. And now an assisted backstabber from Cole to O'Reilly to win the second fall. Cole to the cover. O'Reilly kicks out at 2.
The referee has taken a very good look. She might even call this match very soon. If this punishment continues to Kyle O'Reilly, he literally will not be able to continue.
A submission locked in. They look at Cole. Fingers into the mouth. More damage done. Oh, again!
Endo sting right in the jaw.
What do you say? Give up! Cole talking a little bit of smack and now raining down elbows. But look at the positioning of O'Reilly's face still on this.
Yeah, and I mean,
You
Cole,
got nothing, O'Reilly.
Cole wanting to submit O'Reilly to embarrassment would be satisfying for Adam Cole to hear O'Reilly say, "I quit."
I'd be better than you. You hear me? Just stay down, Kyle. Stay down, Kyle. For 13 years. Well, O'Reilly's not going to stay down.
Nope, that just lit O'Reilly up, working through the agony of those ribs.
Imagine how hard it is for O'Reilly to throw every punch, every forearm, even to lift his arm is right back into the ribs, right back into the stomach goes Cole.
Kyle O'Reilly's been unable to get a full breath in.
And now it's O'Reilly. Flurry of offense, but just can't overcome the pain. Pump kick connects.
Adam Cole did not even have to stop that flurry of O'Reilly. He stopped himself. The body just came in.
Snap German suplex. Can O'Reilly make it 2-0? Can O'Reilly put away Adam Cole?
It's the ropes. The ropes doing enough damage now. Still with the pump kick to the chest of Adam Cole.
Adrenaline makes a man do crazy things, and now it's O'Reilly who could be positioning himself to make it 2-0 here in this street fight. The first goes Cole. O'Reilly. Oh!
Dragon screw into that standing chair. Of course, the knee of Adam Cole might be shredded at this point. Both men walking wounded, or crawling wounded, I should say.
Cole first back to his feet. O'Reilly now measuring Cole. O'Reilly trying to block out the pain.
Oh! Once again to the midsection.
The steel chair that Cole put there earlier. And both men same idea. Charging back in for a second time.
Double pump kick, both men down.
I mean, you can just feel the intensity in this moment. Both men having the same idea. One more time, wow. Double boot to the jaw, sending both men to the mat.
This the second fall. O'Reilly won the first fall, the traditional fall. If O'Reilly can win this street fight, Kyle O'Reilly will win. What the? Chain?
And he knew exactly where that was placed. Clearly did a little scouting pre-match.
And it's all legal in this street fight.
Remember their unsanctioned match.
Wait a minute.
O'Reilly knows how to use a chain too.
We are witnessing pure malevolent theater.
Oh, both men go right at it. This street fight taking an ugly turn. Solid steel chains to the face, to the body. Cole getting the better of O'Reilly on that exchange. O'Reilly going low, dropping the chain in. Cole kick across the face, super kick under the jaw. Cole quickly realizing it falls into the cover for the second fall, and O'Reilly just got his right shoulder off the mat.
Yeah, connecting flush. You saw the reverberation on the jaw of Kyle O'Reilly when that super kick connected, but Adam Cole unable to hook that leg at a tight pinfall in there.
Cole trying to crawl his way up the ramp here, and look at Kyle O'Reilly giving chase.
It might be wise considering the ring's littered with devastation.
Well, these two just want to rip each other apart, destroy the other, right to the stomach. Again goes Cole.
Just intelligent work from Adam Cole, suckering in Kyle O'Reilly time and time again, getting him to open himself up. Oh, here we go.
Wait a minute.
Oh, guillotine.
Guillotine locked in. The submission doesn't matter on the outside. O'Reilly's got to get Cole back into the ring.
Adam Cole is almost laid down.
Oh! Nice knee under the jaw, perfectly placed. And wait a minute. Oh, man!
Adam Cole crashing into the security barrier, and indeed the cameraman.
Kyle O'Reilly getting innovative right here. Bringing it a level up, and Adam Cole clutching that elbow, trying to get feeling back into that hand.
Shattered the ulna or the radius in that forearm, but
O'Reilly just trying to get as many breaths as he can get back in.
Well, he's wincing every time he sucks in oxygen, which causes a problem by itself if you can't.
Wait a minute, O'Reilly now. Up goes Cole. Cole able to block. And on the outside, a neck breaker. What lengths are these two men willing to go to destroy the other here tonight? And Cole now back in on the outside. Again, everything legal. No rules in this street fight.
Adam Cole fighting for survival in this match. Lose the next fall and it's game over, Adam Cole.
You can see Cole, though, to Beth's point, favoring that right elbow after crashing into the barricade when O'Reilly threw him off the stage entrance. What's Cole looking for? Again, Cole with the steel chair.
Familiar friend here for Adam Cole. Oh no.
We talk about those sick, sadistic thoughts flowing through the mind of Adam Cole. Cole believes there would be no Kyle O'Reilly without Adam Cole. We're gonna put the final nails in this. Wait a minute, O'Reilly able to counter. Cole up on his shoulders. Oh, down across the knee. And it's O'Reilly now. Who could possibly be putting the final touches on this matchup?
Oh, I know what Kyle O'Reilly has in mind.
Oh, this is how he won the unsanctioned match, but
no. Spine first, last shot to the back of the neck. Cole into the cover, and we're headed to a third round.
The winner of the second fall is Adam Cole. The third and final fall will be decided in a steel cage match.
Medical attention.
yeah, we might not get to a third fall here. Kyle O'Reilly is in a seriously bad way after that crash landing on two chairs. The kidneys, the midsection, the ribs, I don't know what the problem is here, but
Steel cage is closing in right over our heads. The third final fall. Look at Adam Cole looking around. He just yelled, the ref, ring the bell.
Cole could care less.
No!
And that's Impact's point. Look at Adam Cole.
The cage isn't even in place yet.
Certainly is not in. Cole again to the ribs of Kyle O'Reilly.
I'm talking about a man with zero moral compass.
Oh, wait a minute. Watch out, guys.
Oh, my God.
Oh!
Bring him in. Check it out. Hey, come on, Cole.
Cole yelling for O'Reilly and Cole.
There's no way O'Reilly can continue.
WWE Medical is right here in front of us trying to talk to Kyle O'Reilly.
Medical staff doing our best, but they ain't going to hold back a rampaging Adam Cole, are they?
And Cole getting the lifeless body of O'Reilly back into the ring for the third and final fall.
And now this is Adam Cole's playground.
Beth, Kyle O'Reilly hasn't moved.
He's been unable to get to his feet.
I mean, let's go back to some of the replays in this matchup. Is still checking on Kyle O'Reilly as Adam Cole seems very content with what he has done thus far here tonight. Let's go back all the way, Beth, to the first fall, the traditional matchup, all Kyle O'Reilly. Adam Cole caught that super kick. We thought it was going to be Kyle O'Reilly's moment to win the first fall. However, Cole, first fall, instead it'd be Kyle O'Reilly.
Some quick thinking here by Kyle O'Reilly, snagging that W for O'Reilly. Ball is Kyle O'Reilly.
And I'm sorry I'm distracted looking up because they're still trying to talk to Kyle O'Reilly, but we got to go back to where this began. The rib injury early on in the second fall in the street fight to Kyle O'Reilly, and Adam Cole relentless, working the stomach, working the midsection, working the ribs over and over again, continuing to apply the pressure and the damage to Kyle O'Reilly.
And we watch Kyle just struggling to breathe from that moment on, but O'Reilly showing some resiliency, avoiding that chair in that moment, and right here, turning it around, if only for a short time, giving a little distance to Adam Cole.
It was a short moment, but again, right here, Cole, bam, nasty landing for Kyle O'Reilly, and then Adam Cole would put the last shot back into that street fight. But this was moments ago, and again, I'm looking up trying to check on Kyle O'Reilly. This happened in between the second and third falls.
And the merciless onslaught continues. You see, O'Reilly has not budged since that moment. Barely beginning to stir.
I gotta tell you, I heard the medical staff ask Kyle O'Reilly, can you continue? He grimaced a yes. I don't quite believe it myself.
Wait,
I mean,
Kyle
he ain't
O'Reilly's
gonna
not
give
gonna
up.
quit, man. He's not gonna step down, but right now, Adam Cole is just wearing out O'Reilly.
Well, this is a layup for Adam Cole right now.
Cole taking his sweet time. Again, we talked about the mindset of both these men. I'll tell you this, Wade, if Kyle O'Reilly wants to get back into this matchup, he's going to have to find that killer mindset.
Well, that killer instinct, he's found it once before at the unsanctioned match at NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. Somehow managing to come back almost from the dead in this match and take control against Adam Cole. But the question is, how much damage has already been done to Kyle O'Reilly?
Well, adrenaline makes a man do crazy things, and that adrenaline is pumping through the veins of Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah, the body can only manufacture so much.
And now it's O'Reilly going all the way to the top, looking down, could be trying to hit the knee across the back of the neck of Cole.
We were worried that Kyle O'Reilly would have nowhere to go, but it looks like Adam Cole's in big trouble being trapped in this steel cage.
And O'Reilly to the outside now, trying to be pulled up to the top with the cage. Pinfall, submission, or escape. O'Reilly all the way up and nobody there. Knee first. Last shot doesn't connect. O'Reilly back up, delivers one of his own. Into the center of the ring, O'Reilly now into the cover to win the third fall. And Cole kicks out at 2. And I mean, Wade, that could have been the opportunity
for O'Reilly.
Yeah, O'Reilly flying off that top turnbuckle. Exactly how we want an NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. You talked about that killer instinct, trying to summon it up once again, but landing hard on that patella. Was Kyle O'Reilly. How much damage has been done to the body of each of these two men?
What is going through the mind now of Kyle O'Reilly, who has had a flurry of offense.
Low will stop any man in this
Nothing the
tracks.
referee can do about that in the middle of a steel cage match.
Of course Adam Cole would sink that low.
It's all legal, Beth.
Cole realizing
That's killer instinct right there.
This could be Cole's moment. Cole now trying to scale all the way to the top. If both feet hit the floor, Adam Cole wins the third fall. O'Reilly running some interference.
O'Reilly, desperation there, clinging on to the ankle of Adam Cole, knowing that the match was slipping away, and now in the worst place possible, we're trading.
And for a second time, O'Reilly crash and burn. And Cole. What? Panama Sunrise, center of the ring. Added up for Adam Cole. The third fall. O'Reilly kicked out.
Yeah, what a shocker.
Cole in disbelief.
Cole just made a huge mistake.
Adam Cole had every opportunity to climb the cage, but instead wanting to deliver the pain to Kyle O'Reilly. He didn't count on Kyle O'Reilly having it in him to kick out.
He certainly did not. That goes back to the killer instinct. Those handcuffs?
The man came prepared.
What's Adam Cole doing with handcuffs?
Oh, this is brilliant.
Come on. No, come on. Oh, come on. No.
Attach Kyle O'Reilly to the ropes with handcuffs and take all the time in the world to beat the hell out of him or escape. You choose, Adam Cole.
Oh, Cole is absolutely in control.
Get up, Kyle. Get up, Kyle.
And O'Reilly absolutely defenseless.
I was the king of the Undisputed Era. Me.
Whoa. Wait a minute.
Heel hook.
With one arm.
One arm heel hook using the armpit for extra leverage.
If O'Reilly can get a submission, he's going to win the third fall with one arm. Is Cole going to tap? Cole taps. Cole taps.
Here is your winner by submission, Kyle O'Reilly.
Absolute brutality. 2 out of 3 falls, and in the end, Kyle O'Reilly somehow, some way, able to manage a victory over Adam Cole. I mean, let's go back. I mean, just think about some of the action in this matchup. It started with a traditional match, street fight, steel cage, and look at Adam Cole screaming in pain. We talked about brutality earlier tonight in the NXT UK Championship match. These two destroyed each other. These two pushed each other to limits they didn't know they had in this matchup.
In a moment like this, it's hard to deem either one of these men a winner. But you're looking at him right there, the victor, Kyle O'Reilly, has finally put Adam Cole in his place in this 2 out of 3 falls matchup.
Well, it speaks volumes to the never say die attitude of Kyle O'Reilly. The fact that man was reduced to 0 movement, reduced to the ability to use one arm, yet still ingenious enough to pull out a victory.
Let's go back. I mean, this was a moment, Wade, you called brilliant on behalf of Adam Cole. Cole handcuffing Kyle O'Reilly inside the steel cage.
Yeah, you almost cannot lose from that position. In fact, 1 minute ago, I would say it would be impossible to lose from this position. Your opponent completely trapped.
I mean, listen to the super kick. I had mentioned O'Reilly absolutely defenseless, but here in the end, O'Reilly finding that killer instinct getting that new gear.
Yeah, and really, Adam Cole only has his own ego to blame in this situation. Could have escaped, but instead found himself trapped and tapping out.
Kyle O'Reilly looking back. O'Reilly has ended the saga. He has gotten the closure he desired, and tonight, that's undisputed.
Waiting for this moment literally my whole life.
Back in the swing, baby!
To go from WrestleMania with no sound to we have no idea what they're gonna sound like tonight.
You can hear that roar of the crowd. It was just so fun out there.
It's a moment that you want to relive over and over again. I just feel like the moment was so much bigger than just being about me.
The roar of approval from the crowd makes all the bumps and bruises worth it.
It was a great moment. It was incredible. Definitely one I'll remember forever.
It has been an amazing 2 nights in Tampa Bay. Welcome to WrestleMania!
Excuse me, Ilya. Incredible match tonight against Walter. You are the new NXT UK champion.
The ring general has fallen. Long live the Tsar.
Hit roll. Necesitan poner atención. Mucho atención. What's that saying in Spanish? You know the one? There's a saying in Mexico. It's quite popular, and it applies to our current predicament. El que se ríe al último, se ríe mejor. Now, Swerve, I offered you a clean, classy exit to our situation, but you wouldn't want it. So now, you and your thugs are gonna find out. There's no one better than Legado del Fantasma to escalate things.
That's right. And this Tuesday, we are going to finish the job.
Oh, well. Hit roll. This Tuesday, you'll find out he who laughs last laughs best.
Well, these two groups have spent the last few weeks crossing the line and insulting each other's cultures. Well, it comes to a head this Tuesday in 6-man tag action live on USA.
And also we'll have the culmination of our NXT Breakout Tournament. Carmelo Hayes will be taking on the big man, Odyssey Jones. And of course, the winner will get an opportunity to compete for a title of their choosing. Guys, can you imagine if the winner of the Breakout Tournament would challenge for the NXT Championship?
Well, you mentioned the NXT Championship because the time for talk, it's over. The NXT Championship is on the line. Samoa Joe's been provoked. He returned to NXT. Can he put an end to the destruction of Karrion Kross?
Good evening. I have had a lot to say for a very, very long time. There were certain people in this business that would have never stepped into a ring with me if they knew what my true intentions were. Everything needed to fall into the right place at the right time. And that time and place is now. Now, I'm not going to deny that I enjoy hurting people. But someone needed to cause this suffering, this chaos.
With the chaos that's been going on, I don't think I am capable of giving you what you deserve.
And that somebody was me.
Samoa Joe is back!
You know, many people ask me after the injury, why? Why are you choosing to come back? Coming back is reserved for people who think they're gone.
For me, it's always about rebuilding the machine.
Samoa Joe came back to NXT like he's Superman, with this red cape like he's here to save the day.
I would be more than happy to ensure that you receive the respect that you deserve from everybody.
Part of that job deals with slapping people with big mouths in the mouth. Unfortunately, Karrion Kross, he has a really big mouth, and he has a championship.
You really buy that crap? Do you all have any idea who Samoa Joe really is? He's not that different from me. He likes to hurt people, and there ain't nothing wrong with that.
This is not what I had in mind when me and you agreed that you would come back here to NXT. The agreement was, unless provoked, Joe.
You can consider me provoked! Comparing me to Karrion Kross, that's comparing a house fire to a hurricane. Karrion Kross is a very dangerous individual. I'm just that, but much, much more.
Sure, but I resent the fact that he's here pretending like he wants to change things. Samoa Joe just wants to control things.
Reactivate me as a part of the active roster.
I knew what he was all about right when I looked him in the eyes. Just another opportunist.
And with this paper, you will make official Samoa Joe versus Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship.
Joe's getting what he always wanted, a second chance.
This is not about the championship. I'm there to f him up.
At TakeOver 36.
Karrion Kross versus Samoa Joe. It is my duty to make sure that
Karrion Kross is going to sleep.
Change occurs by any means necessary.
Hey, Joe! Do you still feel like you're in control?
When Joe goes out cold, so will the past of NXT. Because no matter where the time is told, in the end,
I will stand here.
Everybody
NXT
pays the toll.
Champion.
Tick. Tock.
Samoa Joe is back. Guys, his first match since February of 2020. Obviously, Capital Wrestling Center hasn't forgotten.
I can speak from personal experience about how tough it is to come back from layoffs. I broke my arm 2012, spent 6 months on the shelf. After returning, I still needed another 2 months to lose the ring rust and regain my confidence. Samoa Joe needs a running start tonight against Karrion Kross. I just don't know if that's possible.
NXT TakeOver 36 is presented by Applebee's. Enjoy your favorite meals, available dine-in, delivery, or to-go. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
I mean, you want to talk about pressure? How about closing out SummerSlam weekend in the main event of TakeOver 36 against the most monstrous NXT champion we've ever seen? This has to be weighing in the back of Joe's mind, and I know that that has been weighing on him heavily.
This is the first appearance in NXT since 2017 for Samoa Joe.
The following contest scheduled for one fall is for the NXT Championship! Introducing the challenger from Huntington Beach, California, weighing in at 282 pounds, Samoa Joe! His opponent from Sin City, weighing in at 265 pounds, he is the NXT champion, Karrion Kross!
This is the site all about the NXT Championship. Samoa Joe looking to become the first ever three-time NXT champion. He's going to have to go through Karrion Kross, a man who has never been pinned or submitted here in NXT. Kross, who has brought swift and decisive destruction. And we are set. Here we go. This is Samoa Joe's 6th NXT TakeOver main event. And early on, I wonder, what's the mindset of Samoa Joe?
The mindset has to be the rage that he was feeling after being provoked by Karrion Kross into returning to the ring, and of course, perhaps a little nugget of nerves regarding his time spent out.
And no doubt provoked is quite the word heading into tonight.
Yeah, so let's go back. Samoa Joe was put into a position of authority to restore and maintain order, but it was Karrion Kross, let's be honest, that provoked Samoa Joe and put his hands on Mr. Regal.
Oh, and now Joe peppering Kross, but Kross not backing down, going right back in. His Kross now going right at Samoa Joe. And Kross has never fought against anyone like Joe here in NXT. Joe not missing a beat right now.
Well, if there were any nerves to start off, he's worked those kinks out already.
And look, Samoa Joe, he's thrown hands, as he mentions, with the likes of John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, the list goes on, and Joe with an elbow right down into the heart of Kross.
Yeah, Samoa Joe at 100% is as dangerous a striker as you'll ever find. Is this Joe at his best? How good is the cardio of Samoa Joe? We're about to find out.
Well, Kross answering back. Kross looking around, trying to pick up some steam, some momentum. Gets caught by Joe. Joe trying to put down Kross. Joe trying to hold on, trying to squeeze Kross.
Slapping him into that clutch in the early goings. Champion just making the top rope.
Look, no doubt is now Kross. Wait a minute, Doomsday Saito. Joe lands high.
I told you.
And now running right back in for him, but Joe knocked all the way to the floor.
Yeah, and that is fortunate for Samoa Joe. Let me tell you, Doomsday Saito suplex followed by that forearm smash has put away everyone.
That's it, Joe. Is that it?
You hear Kross continuing to talk a little bit of trash on the outside.
I guarantee you, Kross felt embarrassed, being tossed around and clutched by Joe that early in the goings.
We saw how these barricades didn't hold up very well this past Tuesday on NXT as Kross hoists Samoa Joe back into the ring.
That is a lot of mass and a lot of power getting thrown towards those barricades. Samoa Joe back in the ring, struggling to get to his feet. It might be redundant now.
Well, we guys both talked about Samoa Joe and having to get back in his first match since February of 2020, and it's Karrion Kross taking it right to Joe. But I ask you, Wade, when it comes to Karrion Kross, his ruthlessness, can it be matched tonight by Joe?
Well, one thing that a long layoff is not going to change about Samoa Joe is the mentality brutality from his career, I can tell you that if there is anybody out there who could be as merciless as Karrion Kross, it is an angry and motivated Samoa Joe we have in the ring right now.
Right now, Kross could be looking for another Doomsday Saito. I don't know if he got all of it. Into the cover, hook of the leg, center of the ring, retain it. Joe kicks out at 2. And now right into an ankle lock goes Karrion Kross. Kross applying the pressure now to Samoa Joe.
A wave of aggression washing over Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe feeling real hurt in there right now.
It doesn't matter the size of athlete that you are. Having your ankle torqued like that is agony.
Joe able to roll through for a moment. Kross all the way to the outside. And now Joe turning right around, and Kross already back to his feet with a forearm under the challenger. Oh, and Joe able to catch Kross for a moment. Joe.
Rampaging Samoa Joe.
Take it to the air.
Let's go, Joe.
It almost went right through Kross. And there you can see Joe wincing. All the damage that's already been done to Joe early on in this matchup. Referee is up to 3. Championship can't be decided on the outside. Joe's got to get Kross back into the ring. And of course, Samoa Joe knows it. First ever 2-time NXT champion here on this brand. Former 2-time United States champion as well.
And that there is something to be said for being an in-ring veteran, understanding how to maximize your energy in the ring, using it to your advantage.
Look at Kross now. Another big clothesline.
Unleashing fury of his own.
It's Kross tossing over 280 pounds into the cover, and again Joe just kicked out as his championship match continues. And look, it's an odd look across the face of Karrion Kross, a look we've not seen too often. And Samoa Joe knew coming into tonight that Kross presented a unique challenge unlike anything he even has seen.
Yeah, Kross has been in there with many different superstars over the years. Rarely have they ever had the mass of a Samoa Joe, but so far go well.
Well, Kross had Samoa Joe scouted, able to roll through, charges it, gets caught, power slam, Joe into the cover. Do we have a new NXT champion? And Kross kicks out at 2.
Just trying to pull every trick out of the bag in order to get himself a little space from the champion here. Wipe away those cobwebs.
Oh, Joe looking around, feeding off the Capitol Wrestling Center. And now it's Samoa Joe in control. Power bomb connects center of the ring. Shoulders are down. Into the cover, kick out. It's a Joe holding on. Into the single leg. Nice transition into the cross face.
STF right in the center of the ring. The Samoan submission machine capitalizing on a rare mistake there from the champ Karrion Kross.
And the thick musculature of Karrion Kross being stretched to the limit here. An awkward torque on the neck, and Samoa Joe transitioning once
Out of the
again.
transition, and now right underneath the orbital bone into the eye. Samoa Joe inflicted damage. Is Kross gonna tap?
No, come on, Kross, now. All right.
Is Kross gonna submit? Samoa Joe trying to hold on. Kross a long way away, trying to wiggle, trying to scratch, trying to claw, reaching out with his long frame, and just by the hair of his toe breaks the hold.
There is a lot of power in the body of Karrion Kross. And Samoa Joe finding that out first. And normally Samoa Joe gets someone stuck center of the ring in a submission. They are going nowhere. It's a little different though with Karrion Kross.
As this match began, we were wondering about Joe and the time off. Because wait a minute, Kross sidesteps Joe, comes back in, foot across the face, and one more time. Kross back in control. And now Kross trying to tie up Joe. And vicious knee. And we started to wonder as Joe drops. Kross covers, and Joe kicks out at 2.5. Can Joe go strike for strike with Kross? Is now Kross fully mounted?
So far, he certainly has done strike for strike, but it might be good night here for Samoa Joe. He landed hard off that last hit.
And Joe doing the best he can to play up the defense, but Kross in total control right now.
Stamped on the fingers of Samoa Joe. Kross almost just basking in the destruction of Samoa Joe. Off the DDT, into another cover goes Kross, and one more time, Samoa Joe fights out. But for how much longer, Beth? How much longer?
Well, time is not the friend of either of these big competitors. The longer this match goes, the deeper and more challenging the cardio becomes.
Control.
Talk about control. Talk about being provoked. Karrion Kross right now, just applying the pressure to the challenger. Kross building up steam, and Samoa Joe. Where is Samoa Joe getting the energy from? Belly to belly.
Beautiful execution there from Samoa Joe. That muscle memory kicking in, perhaps discovering his second wind here.
An era came to an end tonight, but the winner of this will lead NXT into its next chapter. Take a look at Samoa Joe out of nowhere, delivering this overhead belly-to-belly toss. And could this now, Beth, be the moment that Joe needed to get his composure, to get back into it?
Absolutely. This is a critical moment here in the momentum of Samoa Joe. And again, putting the blocks up to defend against those strikes.
Whoa, ducking, and there's Joe now, again peppering. Karrion Kross, Joe fighting back, going to the body, driving the air out of the lungs. Now a knee strike. Kross swings wildly, comes back in, inverted atomic drop. Joe starting to roll now, comes in, big boot across the face, drops the champion, senton center of the ring. Joe to become a three-time NXT champion, and Kross kicks him again at 2.
Well, this is what Karrion Kross feared most. A Samoa Joe motivated with a bit between his teeth and now fully in control of the match. Of the CWC are loving it.
Joe looking around. He's heard all the talk from Kross. And now could be looking for a Coquina clutch. Coquina clutch locked in by Joe. Trying to put down Kross. Kross is fading.
This is the one thing Karrion Kross knew he had to avoid.
But look at the champion's knees.
Agony, but now Joe bringing it to the mat, and Kross is stuck. He's locked.
Can Joe wrap his legs around Karrion Kross? Can Joe squeeze the champion?
The huge body of Karrion Kross. That is no easy feat. Karrion Kross refusing to give up right now. Desperately fighting as the blood is draining from his brain. But no, reversing out into a Kross arm breaker.
Of his own right, but no Joe able to roll through for just a moment. And now it's Kross. Kross could be looking for the cross jacket. Kross could be looking to put the cross jacket on Samoa Joe, just like we saw a few weeks ago. Can Kross put down Joe here tonight? Joe is fading.
Joe's fading. The eyes are closing. He's gasping for breath.
Karrion Kross trapped in a clutch of his own as the blood seeps Joe. Now there's Samoa Joe fighting back himself.
Joe back to his feet. Can Joe break the hold? Can Joe break the cross jacket? And Joe, out of desperation, pushing back Kross. And right back in another forearm to the back.
Hats off to Karrion Kross, never once panicking while in the clutch, managing to make his way out of there, take advantage, and surely now about to put this one to bed for good.
Will the toll be paid by Samoa Joe? Kross got caught. Uranagi! Samoa Joe still with some fight, still with some grit. Back in, caught a knee. Kross now. Oh!
Ole kick to the temple of the champ. Lion prone. No way. No way.
Up. Joe. Muscle. Buster. Joe into the cover. Hooks the leg. We have a new champion.
Here is your winner, their new NXT champion, Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe, the first ever three-time NXT champion. What a moment.
Well, Karrion Kross took that man, Samoa Joe, to hell and back, but ultimately, the Muscle Buster connected, and we have a new NXT champion.
Oh, a highly physical matchup throughout this entire moment. You see Joe being released from the hold and nailed in the back of the neck. We thought it would be lights out for Samoa Joe. Karrion Kross saying time is ticking, but Joe would find that momentum, that opening, and set up Kross.
Well, that opening would get kicked open even wider here in just a moment. Joe able to continue to persevere in this matchup and then take a look at the closing moments.
Here we go, the muscle buster executed center of the ring. There is not a man on planet Earth capable of kicking out even, it would seem, Karrion Kross.
The sand has run out. The toll indeed has been paid. The pieces fall into place for history to be made tonight as the next chapter ready to be written here in NXT.